Hi, everybody. This is Tony. My video camera is not working, so you won't be seeing me on the live. I do have an external camera, but it's in storage, so I will have to get that taken care of. I did want to go on the SNHU site. I have to do some homework, actually. Why is this on here? Okay, I thought I'd deleted this. Wave browser. Window. Okay. You hear my fan in the background? It sounds like it's dying. So I have not worked on my homework and I have something due on Thursday. Here it is Tuesday. So I'm going to look at my courses again, see if there was any web mail. So there's a bunch of academic support stuff. There were some meetings that I want to watch the videos on. And there's the sample paper. Let's see. So I'm responding to an employee. Okay, I did do this little video this morning. I didn't touch on a lot there. There's no sample paper on here for some reason. I don't know what happened here. I guess I responded to them saying thank you or something. Yeah, I don't know why this is doing this. Sorry, it wouldn't give me that. I actually have it printed out. I'm trying to see what all this is. Oh my God. These are all the workshops that I plan on joining. Resources. Okay. Let's see. That is that's interesting. A live stream event. Stuff that I don't have time for. So I will go. Sorry, I've been working all day. It is 5:19 my time. Go and see if there's any updates. They put this on my page today at some point. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to submit my discussion thing. I think I already did. Didn't I do that? Let me look. Let me get here. I think they liked it. I kind of tweaked it a little bit, and that's the first thing I have to submit. Why is this not showing my SNHU? Oh, I didn't share it. That's why. Oh my God, guys. Let's try that again. There we go. I am so sorry. Just wasted some of your time. Um, I think that my instructor said that it should be grading our assignments this Saturday, but I'm going to check. So if it's here, cross your fingers. No, she hasn't graded it yet. No category. Research question, one submission, one file. And then I did the discussion thing already. Nothing's been graded. That is nerve-wracking. Or maybe she doesn't want to freak us out if we did bad. This is not funny. All right. Let's go back to discussions because I want to see if there's any questions that people put. So in the general discussion. General questions. Looks like there was 8 posts. Probably mine was the last one asking about formatting. Let's see, what do I post? Yeah, that was my last one was me. All right, so I want to go to the learning modules because I did not listen to, here we go, module 2. I did not listen to, I think there was a video or something. I'm trying to find the guidelines. Oh, Please share your experience. I don't remember seeing this survey. We'd love to hear from you. Short survey, your academic advisor or other university staff may see your feedback. I wish they were, I'm going to say, I wish that there were more examples of formatting like the papers. So let's respond to this. Why the hell not? Please share your experience. Course materials include instructions, books, readings, videos, blah, 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 lecture notes. Please take a moment. Assignment instructions are easy to understand. I guess. I I don't know if I want to answer this because this doesn't really talk about the paperwork. Overall, how would you rate materials provided in this source? How can it be improved? Here's where I get to put it in. I would like an example of how the journal assignment should be formatted. We were given an example of how the discussion what? Assignment should be written out, but not for the normal. I did reach out to academic support when they said to format it like an essay, but without the professor's recording input. And well, without an example, I still feel unsure. Yeah, okay, so I guess they're okay. Not really. Again, when you do find them, like the stuff to read's easy. I don't. It's not that it's hard. It's not that the materials are hard to well, not to locate. It is hard to locate and find your way back. I get lost. I can't remember how I found something. And then I feel like I'm not getting everything. So how would I rate the materials there? Men's and men's, a 5. But not having our first assignment back until after the third assignment is already submitted is nerve-wracking. I'm being honest. You want honest feedback? There it is. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. There we go. My husband brought me some Burger King. I'm not going to eat the bread though. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay, so I submitted that. There we go. Hopefully I don't piss anybody off. I tend to do that a lot for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. People don't like me being honest. I'm very blatantly honest about stuff. Let's look here. Minus that. It's got my picture, but how do I know what I am seeing on here? This is what I hate, how it goes down and then you can't see what the hell you're sharing on this Zoom meeting. And this is how I screwed up a couple of times. Oh, there we go. I'm on the right page. I'm just paranoid now because I recorded this morning like 3 times before I actually was showing the right screen. I'm going to chew while I'm doing this. I am going to go to, let's see, student tutorial videos. Let's look at this. Overview or learning environment. I mean, there's certainly a lot of stuff. I'm not going to curse. Here, this is number 2. Let's watch this.
You'll see links to the assignment guidelines and rubrics, as well as an area to submit your assignment. Be sure to review these assignment guidelines and rubrics. These instructions can help you complete your assignment, and the rubric information lets you know exactly how you'll be graded, so you can be sure to incorporate all of the critical elements into your assignment. The documents in this folder are critical to your success in the course as they lay out exactly what you need to know to meet the standards for an exemplary outcome in the assignment. It's also important to check announcements in your learning environment each week in case there are any updates or information from your instructor that can help you complete your weekly assignments. Keep in mind that you can access the assignment guidelines and rubrics both from the assignment itself and from the table of contents in the course. As always, reach out to your academic advisor or instructor if you have any questions. You can contact our advising team at 877-591-4723 or at advising@snhu.edu.
Okay. Pencil. What else is on here? Did that already. Go back. There's a lot of SNHU crap. Feedbacks and grades. Let's see what they say about that.
You've submitted your assignments. You'll be graded by your instructor and provided with feedback. From the course menu, click the Grades menu option. The grade screen will show a summary view of your total points earned so far. Individual assignments will be listed below, with points earned and total points possible, a letter grade, and feedback that provides you with a more detailed explanation. For more detailed feedback on larger assignments,
see, and this is exactly sorry.
Your final project.
So this is exactly why I gave the feedback I did. Because if you're not grading the first 2 assignments until after the third is due, if there's anything that we need to redo, we don't know it. I think I prefer real-time feedback.
To the course menu to find grade details. Click on assignments from the course menu. Here you will see both the point totals for that assignment, a link to your submissions for that assignment, and a hyperlink to view the feedback. Click on View, and you'll see the grading rubric for that assignment, indicating how you performed on each critical element. You will see a checkbox for each critical element category showing how you scored for that element, as well as any line item feedback from your instructor in the column on the right. Overall feedback can be found at the bottom of this rubric.
Oh, that's long.
Reviewing the feedback you receive from your instructor is important to maintain a high level of success in the course. Not only can it help you ensure you're not continually making the same mistakes, but it allows you to make improvements to your milestone assignments for a strong final project submission. As always, reach out to your academic.
I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out. Let's do a new email. Let's do to my instructor. Journal assignment. All right, so can you tell me how I should write out my journal assignment? I asked academic support and they said I should write it in essay format, but would that mean that there would be a conclusion paragraph? Not correct. Like, speak English, Tony. Let's look at the rubric again. So I don't sound like a flaming idiot. Let's look at it again. Here we go. All day. That's a discussion. Module 2. That's Sunday. Where's the rubric? Journal research process. Rubric, where are you, rubric? I think I read too much into stuff. So list the relevant sources, evaluate resources, explain the bias. Probably thinks I'm a pain in the butt. Maybe not. I'm paranoid. Okay, submitted. There we go. I gotta take one more bite of this Burger King Whopper. Yummy. I don't know why they call it a Whopper. The burgers are so thin anymore. I'm sounding crotchety, aren't I? I am. I can't remember if there's anything else. There's the vibe. Did I read this? I think I did. I keep reading stuff over and over again and not retaining it. Talk about the library. Okay, I'm gonna play this because I'm swallowing.
Getting the research process. In this module, you will work on developing your own research process, and you'll begin to evaluate the sources you have found for credibility, bias, diverse perspectives, and counterarguments. Putting your research question to work. The library guides from the Shapiro Library will lead you through the databases. Why do we use the library and not the internet? The library databases are full of articles that you might be able to find on Google Scholar for a fee, but they're free for you to use as a student through the databases. Also, the library databases typically offer sources that are peer-reviewed and have been vetted for inclusion. Although you will still need to evaluate the credibility of each of your sources, you are more likely to find credible sources through the library databases. Getting started with research can be intimidating, especially when using the library databases for the first time. Remember that you already have a tentative research question as a starting place. You will want to identify keywords based on your research question so that you can more effectively search the databases. If my research question is how should community colleges overcome healthcare inequity among part-time faculty, I might try the following search in the EBSCO database to get started: community college and faculty and part-time and healthcare. If you're having difficulties finding sources this week, be sure to look through the 190 Library Guide for Library Research Tips. Remember that both your instructor and the library are resources for you. If you need help, reach out to your instructor.
I do.
An image of the SNHU Shapiro Library. Using sources to persuade. Remember that by Module 7, you'll write a persuasive essay on your topic, and you'll use your sources to support your points. What if you find sources that present a different stance or perspective on your topic? That is great.
Writing a well-rounded sampling of sources on your topic will help you to build your essay because you will be able to anticipate objections and address counter-arguments. In fact, if you can't find any sources that offer differing perspectives on your topic, it may indicate that your research question is leaning more toward a report than an argument.
Huh.
There may not be much nuance within your topic, and
That's
you
not
might
good.
want to revisit your research question.
Hmm.
Counter-arguments. When you find sources that present counter-arguments, pay just as much attention to them as you do to sources that affirm the ideas you already have. Thoroughly understanding different perspectives will help you to counter these objections in your essay. Often scholars agree on the problem but disagree on the solutions to the problem. A counter-argument might be simply offering an alternative solution. Identifying bias. As you read and evaluate your sources, notice the author's standpoint and attitude. The author's standpoint is their perspective based on their experiences and exposure. An author who attended private schools might have some bias in studying and writing about public schools because they do not have a lived experience with public school. This does not mean that their entire perspective is false, but simply that we should observe where the author is coming from. Similarly, look at the author's attitude toward various groups. What kind of language do they use when discussing those who they admire and those they do end? Are they dismissive or even mean when writing about certain groups? Try to identify sources without obvious bias. Audience and bias. As you look through sources this week, keep in mind your audience. Your audience is the potential reader of your essay beyond your peers and your instructor. When identifying your audience, consider who needs to hear your message. Who are you trying to convince? Then consider how your audience might react to a source that you might include in your essay. Will they find the sources that you've selected to be credible and unbiased? Will they respect the well-roundedness of your research and that you cite a variety of diverse perspectives? Similarly, consider bias in your sources. If a source uses inappropriate language, that source might alienate your audience. Your audience might trust you less and discount your argument if you use a source that displays clear bias. One way to identify bias is to look at the word choice in the article. How does the author refer to those who disagree? How does the author portray different groups of people in their writing? Who is the author and what is their agenda? Is the author associated with any groups that are known for extreme perspectives? Remember that once you use a source in your writing, you are associating yourself with that source. Credibility and audience. One reason that we want to use credible sources in our writing is because we want to build our audience's trust. When we use sources that our audience will find credible, our audience will trust us because we prove ourselves to be well-rounded scholars capable of identifying credible sources. The importance of diverse voices. Although you will identify only two sources from independent research, you will want to consider if the sources you identified represent a diversity of voices. Do your sources represent a variety of perspectives on the topic? For example, if your topic is gentrification, you would want to seek sources from current and displaced residents as well as city planners and landlords. Writing a well-rounded collection of sources that includes diverse voices will help you to anticipate objections and strengthen your own argument. Key questions. How can the library databases assist you in your research process? What do counter-arguments offer, and how can you use them to build your own argument? Who is your audience? What makes a source credible and relevant? How does bias impact your readers' trust in your persuasive essay? Why is it important to include sources with diverse perspectives in your persuasive essay? Module 2 Key Takeaways. The research question guides your research process. Selecting sources is part of the persuasive essay process. It is important to consider the credibility, relevance, and bias of sources, as well as how your audience might react to your sources. Reference librarians are available to you at SNHU for any course at any time.
So here's my question. So we have a discussion coming up where we are allowing fellow students to look at our research articles that we've chosen and then give us feedback as to whether they think it gives a fair point of view if we should look at alternative sources. I don't know whether we can add more sources to the paper to give a more balanced view. And I was not able to find that in here. So I guess it's yet to be seen. So let's look. So that was March 2. Let's see what else is on here. Okay, so this is how to write anything. Chapter 3. This chapter from the textbook discusses how you'll decide on your audience. You'll first explore audience expectations as well as the readers beyond your immediate audience. Then you will take a look at how you can shape your writing to engage the audience as you read. Consider the following. How do you tailor your writing to the audience? How do you define who your readers should be? That's interesting because I already just selected who my audience already are. So let's see. So we have to consider what the audiences expect. Consider who else might read my work, and tailor your writings to your readers. So if it was a student version, emotional paragraphs about how bullying harms everyone. Adult version, legal side of bullying. So they're given some examples. Says, as a writer, you sometimes have the option to select or seek out different specific audiences for your work. Well, that's pretty much what I did for mine. Technical writing, even some reaches the general public. Okay. It's pretty much just given a downplay. And then what is this one? This is click the link to complete the assignment reading. Okay, I'm not gonna have you guys hang out and do this. So I gotta go read through this, and this is gonna be a little bit of time and more about videos and stuff. So I'm gonna get to work on that. And then here goes how APA in-text citation. Oh, let's look at that real quick. Because I haven't even looked at that. I do need to tweak that, don't I? Author named in a single phrase, author named in parentheses with block quotations, 2 authors, 3 or more authors. Yeah, you do blank at all. Presented, yeah, when you're summarizing. Now, if it's an actual quote. Procedures, they're quoting here, I think. Oh, group corporate, 2 or more works by the same author. Oh, God, this is a lot. I do have the book, and it's really hard to read. Electronic source. How our brains separate empathy from. All right, I'm not going to bore you with this. I will look at this further, but not at this point. I hope some of this helped you. I didn't really get to say much because I'm tired and I don't have much juice left. I'm probably going to be going to bed shortly, but then I'll go to bed with a full stomach. So let me stop sharing the screen and stop the recording. I will be back again maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Depends how things go.